Welcome to This Generation. I'm Bethany Stanley. This week we'll travel to Shishmaref to see how the youth of this Inupiaq village are preparing themselves for the future, and see how the people of this region are helping to ensure that the young people have an abundance of opportunities available to them. Shishmaref is located on Serechef Island in the Chukchi Sea, just north of the Bering Strait. Shishmaref lies 5 miles from the mainland and is surrounded by 2.6 million-acre Bering Land Bridge National Reserve. The original Eskimo name for the island is Gigatak. With approximately 562 people living there, the community of Shishmaref is almost 95% native people that live mostly a subsistence lifestyle, relying on fish, walrus, seal, polar bear, rabbit, and other game. 2 reindeer herds were managed from here until recently, when those herds mixed with the migratory caribou herds. The people of this island are traditional Inupiaq Eskimos who have subsided here for thousands of years. They are people who have become set in their ways and have made their ways work for them since time began. But now the torch is being passed on to the younger generation, a generation that in order to survive must adapt to the changes of time.
In the military, when you're operating a squad and you're out on a patrol, this is the direction the squad's moving in.
At first glance, you might think you have just stepped into a boot camp, but that's not the case here. These young people are merely going to school like any other day, except this day is a little different. In fact, the next 3 days will be quite different from the norm here in Shishmaref, Alaska. It's the beginning of the career fair for this community and the beginning of a career for many of Shishmaref's youth.
You might want to get real specific on this because
it all began in the minds of 2 hard-working, dedicated professionals who wanted and still want the best for the kids in their community. Meet Kelly Eningowuk and Doug Harris. Doug is the school counselor and a teacher at the Shishmaref School, and Kelly is the youth development coordinator in Shishmaref. She is involved with the Youth Opportunity Program, which is a program that is currently working in 45 villages throughout rural Alaska. A program that is focused on preparing the youth of the villages for the workforce of today. For many of these young adults, the decision of what career may be right for them is still up in the air. What better way to expose these young people to a variety of careers than to bring the careers to them?
I knew I wanted to be a nurse, and I don't know when I decided that, but that's kind of unusual. Some people don't know what they want to be, and that's fine.
For 3 days, the youth of Shishmaref, Stebbins, and Gamble gathered in Shishmaref to attend classes that opened up their eyes and their minds. They were exposed to careers and job opportunities that many of them never knew existed. For Alexandra Taylor, it was a chance to see familiar faces and encourage many of her peers to consider nursing as a career. Alexandra has grown up in rural Alaska and understands the hurdles these kids have to overcome.
There's a lot of students that come for the first year. They get very overwhelmed with everything, and also the expectations at the university are much higher than what they sometimes are in high school. And just helping them get through that, really helps the success rate. Another really important thing that I think that was important for us coming here is also to kind of introduce the profession to these students, because a lot of them probably haven't thought about it. And we also introduced all the other areas in the healthcare field that are available. For example, we went all the way from one end of the spectrum to the other. We went all the way from on-the-job training all the way to medical doctor, and we kind of went through the entire continuum. Because you can get a job in the hospital as a patient sitter for the patients that are at high risk for injury, all the way to the medical doctor, where you have to have many years of schooling. And so we just kind of went from one end to the other, and I think that was important to show them that there is a lot of different opportunities in the healthcare field besides just nursing.
What I want you to do is write what you want to do after you're done with high school and where you think you have to go to do that.
We teach building industrial technology, which covers almost all the building trades, construction, electrical, plumbing, and heating. We do office occupations, which deals with accounting clerks, secretarial, and clerk receptionist training. We do the training, industrial mill technology, which is industrial mine maintenance and industrial operations. And we do health occupations, which is a real growing field, certified nursing assistant, personal care attendants, and then we're starting to offer support courses for the LPN, licensed practical nurse, and the RN track. This year we just started a computer type training where we do a lot of the certification tracks, the A+, the Network Plus, and the Microsoft Certified System Engineer. And we've had 100% completion rate on those. And we're just waiting for the people to take their certification exams.
Dennis Dishion is a recruiter, administrator for the Alaska Technical Center in Kotzebue. He travels all over the region recruiting students from different schools to attend ATC. The Alaska Technical Center is already an extremely popular school, in part due to the fact that it's the only vocational center in the region. And
the biggest thing is for the rural students, because it's a place they can come and it feels a lot more like their home village than going off to Anchorage or one of the bigger towns. I think it's just a lot more of a comfort level for them.
And for many of the youth in this village, the comfort level is right here at home. Many of these kids don't want to leave their village or the lifestyle they have grown up with. But for those who wish to pursue a career outside of Shishmaref, this 3-day exposure to a variety of different careers was invaluable.
It's been tremendously mixed, as we expected it would be. There's some people who have absolutely no interest in going into further schooling, but those that are interested spent quite a lot of time talking to us. And that we feel really good about that. One of the things that we were trying to do is not convince people that this is what they should do, but show them the way should they decide that's what they want to try.
Quentin Reuer and Jesse Owens are associate professors with the biomedical program at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. The program is designed to get physicians back into Alaska to practice once they have completed medical school.
I talk with students who are interested in not only medical school, but also dental school, veterinary medicine, physical therapy. We work with some students who are interested in becoming physician assistants. I've also worked with quite a few nursing students over the years by way of my instruction of a medical microbiology course.
One student who has made up her mind to pursue a career in the medical field is 17-year-old Irene Ahgupuk.
My long-term goal is to become a doctor who studies cancer or a surgeon. So the UDoc will help me gain strength in the medical field and also show me around campus so I can get ready for college in the fall.
Irene is also enrolled in the Youth Opportunity Program and is receiving help through the program and the Youth Opportunity Coordinator, Kelly Eningowuk.
Well, I never expected myself to be in such a position, and it's been a challenge, and I really enjoy what I do. It's very rewarding. I wanted to share my experience and the experience that I went through with my whole college career, and I hope that's been helpful to the kids. And I really believe in this program. It's nice to have the Youth Opportunity Program community-based, because those kids that didn't go through all that in high school, didn't get the information then, we have it community-based, and we work a lot with out-of-school youth and getting them to educational training programs.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Flying in Alaska? Fly Frontier, the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Frontier is expanding again. They've added new routes to Nome, Kotzebue, and the surrounding villages. As you can see, Frontier is now really covering Alaska. So the next time you fly, try Frontier. Frontier offers quick, convenient check-in, low fares, and service direct to many of the villages. Frontier Flying Service is the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Make it your official airline too.
The freshest salmon in town. There's no reason why Alaskans should be paying $9, $10 a pound in the stores when it's caught right down the street.
Whether you're a small business looking for a large order or an individual looking for a healthy meal for your family, Fred's Alaskan Wholesale Seafood offers fresh Alaska salmon at the lowest price in town. So give Fred a call or stop by and visit him today.
Come on down to Fred's, where the seafood costs less than catching it yourself.
Fred's Alaskan Wholesale Seafood, 230 East Potter, Suite 11.
Welcome back. Within the Youth Opportunity Program, there are several activities available to the youth, one of which is work experience. These young people are getting experience working jobs in their village, all in an attempt to prepare them for the workforce of today.
The coordinator gives me applications for scholarships and summer programs that I'm interested in. She gave me a UDOC application. It's a 5-week medical program, and we get to work on cadavers.
And whether it's body parts or auto parts, these young adults are learning about the different positions and career opportunities available to them through the career fair.
It's like a wake-up call to some of the students. Some things they didn't know, they've never heard about, and they're learning. I know I've learned some stuff that I didn't know the past couple days.
I've talked with a lot of the students, and they just, it's like, wow, it's like we had people come in and tell us that we could actually do these things. It's open up our window, the reality of what's out there. And we had these people coming in and telling us about success stories of individuals like ourselves that have, come out and achieved.
It was fun. I learned a lot from all the representatives.
I think STEM should have a career fair at home too. So it would really help them to choose which career they would want to be in. There are so much careers. It'd be good for all the kids that are there.
After listening to the recruiter, I wanted to, interested in the Army. You get $20,000 just for enlisting, and you can get free trips, computer with internet, lots of other stuff. They've been saying that it's real interesting. They've learned stuff that they didn't know. A couple of them decided that they want to try going to college.
And speaking of college, there were representatives from a variety of colleges, including the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Most of our full-time students actually live on campus, so we are a community.
And the Army National Guard even had a couple recruiters at this fair. It was a team effort by all those who were involved in this event, including the presenters who paid out of pocket to make sure that these kids knew that this career fair was all about them.
Unfortunately, we were working without a budget. And so, we announced that in our invitation letters to all the representatives, and, we asked, we told them that they would be staying on the floor at the school, that a lot of them had never even heard of Shishmaref before. Well, not a lot of them, but because they have students come out of here, but they're not really familiar what Shishmaref is and how rustic we are out here. So, we told them flat out, bring a sleeping bag, you'll be on the floor of the school, you'll have to come up with your own airfare. We will provide meals, and that's it. And the response that we got was just overwhelming. I was really pleased with what we had.
But this career fair was more than just an opportunity to see the different options that are available to these kids. It was an opportunity to learn different skills that these youth will come to rely upon, especially if and when they decide to leave Shishmaref. Skills that employers look for when hiring an employee, like applications.
My session was employment applications, and we had a lot of fun with the kids and doing that. And working with some of the kids, a lot of them have never filled out any sort of applications, so we wanted to give them an opportunity to ask questions and just kind of go line by line of, the questions asked on job applications.
For Kelly, teaching kids how to fill out applications is a daily thing. As the Youth Development Coordinator for the Youth Opportunity Program in Shishmaref, Kelly spends her days helping the youth enrolled in the program to apply for scholarships, learn and understand the cover letter and resume writing process, access valuable resources that many of these youth know little or nothing about, and learn other skills that will be necessary to succeed in life outside of Shishmaref.
Personally, I feel that it's real important. For a long time, this wasn't available, and a lot of kids were kind of running around lost with no central place to go where they could get information on opportunities and resources out there. And being so isolated out in rural Alaska, it's important that they're exposed to opportunities.
And with 89 kids enrolled in the Youth Opportunity Program, Kelly has got her hands full. She is also helping many of these youth to experience what it's like holding down a full-time job by placing some of the eligible kids in different positions in the village.
We finally got this work experience program together in January, so since January we've been placing youth at different work sites. I believe we have 8. I think we have 8, and they're placed at several locations. We've got kids at the Shishmaref Tannery, the Shishmaref Native Store, the Tribal Government Office, the IRA office. We've got kids at the school. We're looking at placing kids at the health clinic maybe soon, those that want to pursue health careers.
GideAnn Emily Barr is one of the students enrolled in the program that is working at the Shishmaref Native Store.
I wanted to work at the clinic, you know, because I like doing things like helping other people, you know. And ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but it's very hard to do something like that in a little place like this. So my second choice was to work at the Native Store, and I got that job. Mainly work the cash register, and if people want to charge, you have to learn how to use the slips and work the gas pump and everything. It has a little electronic thing down under the cash register, and it's not hard. I mean, after the first day I got it, so.
And although it may not be a career for this young lady, it is a good experience in holding down a job and working with the public. For GideAnn, her aspirations are guiding her toward medical school. And with the career fair in town, her goals seem to be coming into reach.
They interest me to get into this program. It's mainly for juniors and seniors, but I'm only a sophomore, and they told me to go ahead and get a start on that and look into it, and they can probably get me into this program to where this summer I'll spend a couple weeks in Anchorage and work with bodies, and, well, they're dead bodies, but yeah, it freaks me out a lot, but if that's what it takes, I'm gonna do it.
Keeping me busy here and there, learning how to work, doing office work mostly. Actually, I'm doing files, writing stuff on the scanner, and just about doing mostly files, faxing, copies.
For Jared Nayokpuk, the work experience is a stepping stone for when he gets ready to leave the village to pursue other endeavors.
I was thinking to go Job Corps, actually.
What do you want to study there?
Mostly office work, sometimes carpentry.
Next door, 18-year-old Mickey Ningealook is getting similar training, and all it took was a pen and paper to get started.
They just asked if I needed to work. I said sure, and so they let me go to the clerk and let me fill out papers, and I just started working here the next day, learning how to do the office work. I usually answer phones, make copies, or run around and get signatures for the people who are getting paid on their checks.
For Mickey, this is a good experience for him and will look good on his resume when he applies to a college in Washington State to become a heavy machinery mechanic.
In the 1890s, pioneers carved a railway through the rugged mountains between Skagway and the Klondike. More than a century later, the White Pass and Yukon route still makes this legendary run. Along the way, life has gotten better for folks working on the railroad, thanks in part to Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska, a health plan that's offered smart choices and quality coverage to the people of Alaska since before it was a state. Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska. We're here. We're with you.
Good morning, Island Air.
Island Air has been serving Kodiak Island for over 20 years, with scheduled service and charter service to 6 different destinations around Kodiak Island, the mainland, peninsula, and up and down the Aleutian chain. Island Air offers quality service at affordable rates. And if you love to fish, Island Air would love to take you there. They offer same-day fly-in fishing and bear viewing trips. So when you find yourself on Kodiak Island, be sure to visit Island Air for your island travels.
As you can see, these kids have been busy learning and exploring different avenues that are available to them, but they still manage to find time for the fun things in life, like the Shishmaref Spring Carnival and the Native Youth Olympics.
It feels good to support my family after not having a job. And this is what I wanted to do, to learn to do office work.
21-year-old Roberta Tokeinna works at the IRA office in Shishmaref under the work experience portion of the Youth Opportunity Program. Before this program came to Shishmaref, Roberta found herself feeling stuck.
Well, I was kind of having a hard time since I had no diploma or anything to get a job. Finally, after I quit school, maybe a year later, I finally decided to try and get my GED, but it was kind of a problem because I had 2 kids. And my boyfriend would be busy working on snow machines or Hondas or hunting. And I didn't have a babysitter.
And on top of that, Roberta had a problem with alcohol, a problem that is all too common in the state of Alaska and the outlying villages. In the remote parts of the state where there is little or nothing for the youth to do when it comes to recreation, alcohol and drugs offer an alternative to boredom. Roberta saw that she wasn't getting anywhere traveling down that road, and with the help and support from her family in the Youth Opportunity Program, Roberta started filing paperwork, answering telephones, taking minutes from meetings, and a variety of office and clerical work. Today, Roberta has become a valuable asset to her community and to her family.
It helped me a lot, learning things what I didn't know, and it keeps me busy and let me have something to do. And it's also helping me getting ready to take the GED testing. After I get my GED, I have plans to take college courses. Not then I wanted to look for a job around town or somewhere else that relates with office or business or something.
As for Roberta, she has some words of advice for all of those who are thinking about the future.
I like to encourage the youth not to drink, because that's what made me quit school, is because of the alcohol, and I like to encourage others not to do it. It causes a lot of problems, not just on yourself, just on other people, your relatives, and it hurts them also.
Troy Weyiouanna is a senior this year and is also involved with the work experience portion of the Youth Opportunity Program. Troy is doing custodial work at the school, as well as preparing for the spring carnival that Shishmaref has every year. He's also making buttons to sell at the carnival, with the profits going toward a trip to Los Angeles for the senior class. Troy has got his future all planned out, starting with the immediate plans to
go to flight school. After a while, after I take a break from school, probably in Prescott, Arizona. Come back here, work for my dad. He's a bear guide. You know, I'll send some supplies up for him to his camp whenever he needs them. No, it's just how, just raised up here and getting used to it. I mean, I was used to it. Not really into big changes like moving down. I'd want to stay up here.
As if the career fair, the spring carnival, and the work experience weren't enough for these young people, They were also busy getting ready for the 2002 Native Youth Olympics. Nichole Turner is practicing for the one-arm reach, which is her favorite event. She makes it look easy, but there's more to it than meets the eye.
You have to find a comfortable spot, balance yourself, go as high as you can go, put your arm up and touch the ball and go back down and balance for like 3 seconds longer and then you're done. Last year, the person that went to state, she got 50 feet. I mean, inches.
And then there's the stick pull, which is a test of strength.
This is my first year doing the Alaskan high kick, and it's kind of hard, but I'm getting used to it. And I'm also doing the scissor broad jump, stick pull, and leg pull. And I'm doing this because I'm involved in all kinds of sports in high school, from beginning of school to end. And this is my second year for NYO, and last year was my first because I wanted to try something new. And this year I wanted to do better than last year, to try to go to state.
And speaking of state, the boys basketball team took first place this year at the state competitions with a record of 19-5. And it's no surprise when you consider that basketball is the village sport. With very little recreation available during the winter days, the gym has become an escape for everyone, kids and adults alike. And there's also the Friendship Center for the younger crowd. It's a place where the kids can hang out after school, socializing and playing games. As for the high school students who are graduating this year, or the ones who are becoming seniors, they know that preparing for a successful future is not a game. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work to achieve those goals that they set for themselves. But with the help of the Youth Opportunity Program, dedicated schools and training centers, and people like Doug Harris and Kelly Eningowuk, some of those hurdles that lie in their paths start to look like tiny speed bumps.
I think the WIO program helps youth realize the opportunities that are out there. Lots of opportunities.
Thank you for joining us for this look at the youth of Shishmaref. Be sure to tune in next week for another exciting look at this generation. Until then, goodbye.